My name is Gintaras, and thank you for joining us today for this discussion. As cryptocurrencies become increasingly mainstream, according to experts, countries that swiftly adopt this trend are set to gain significant economical advantages. Lithuania, recognized as leading fintech hub in Europe, is uniquely positioned not through low-cost labor, but through its exceptional talent pool and extensive fintech expertise. In recent years, Lithuania has attracted numerous cryptocurrency companies seeking a solid foundation for growth and innovation. One prominent example is Bifinity, a subsidiary of Binance, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange by trading volume and registered users, serving over 200 million people across more than 100 countries. Bifinity, headquartered in Lithuania, plays a crucial role globally by managing fiat currency transactions, including euros and dollars, for Binance users worldwide. Remarkably, most global fiat transactions, particularly those involving European banks, are processed through Bifinity's Lithuanian branch. Bifinity has experienced an amazing growth, surpassing 1 billion euros valuation and achieving the coveted status of unicorn company. Moreover, Bifinity stands out as one of Lithuania's largest taxpayers, significantly contributing to the national economy. Is that a happy coincidence or a trend? How and why can such examples be replicated? What should Lithuania focus on to turn the crypto sector into one of the main value drivers for the country? We are going to explore these and other questions right away, but before that, I'd like to introduce our guest joining us today. That's Jonu Juengeriu, CEO of Bifinity.
Hello.
And Mykolu Majausku, president of the Crypto Economy Organization, dedicated to fostering a robust crypto ecosystem in Lithuania and beyond. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello.
So, gentlemen, maybe first question for Mr. Juengeriu. Could you share what Bifinity is currently focused on and how the cryptocurrency sector in Lithuania is developing at the moment?
Yes, great. First of all, thanks for having me again. Pleasure to be back and talk about crypto. At the moment, for Bifinity, three main topics. Number one, ongoing operations continues to be. The crypto market is growing very recently. Continued operation, making sure we are resilient, we're well set up for our users, we give good services. Growing the team, recruiting new team members here in Lithuania. So ongoing operations, number one. Number two, we're very happy. We have a meetup planned here in Lithuania, in Vilnius, next week, Thursday, very soon. So we're busy preparing that, inviting the community, everybody to come and join us. We have some sessions planned around education, how to learn about crypto, different things. It's going to be very interesting things there. And then third topic at the moment, a little bit more longer term, but very, very committed to it, is the Mykolu application here in Lithuania. Very important for us to put a lot of focus on it. And I think, that's where I see generally, maybe not the community meetup for everybody, but I think the sort of combination of, the current growth of the market, current growth of the crypto market, and operationally adjusting to this, plus the new regulatory changes that are coming in for Mykolu. I think that's the two main challenges that currently most crypto companies are working on, including Lithuania.
The market is quite volatile right now. Is that affecting you?
I think the financial markets generally were quite volatile recently, and also crypto. For us, the prices actually don't matter that much. What we do is the underlying infrastructure for the markets. So we make sure that people, when they want to invest, they can invest. If they want to withdraw, they can withdraw. The worst thing that can happen is, you want to make a trade and you can't. That's the worst thing that can happen. So you need to be robust, you need to be reliable. and you need to be there for the users, no matter if it's going up, going down, a lot of trading happening, no trading happening. That robustness, resiliency for our users, that's key.
Yes. Do you think crypto and blockchain are still niche technologies, or are we moving toward using digital money just like traditional currencies? Do you believe Lithuania has strong potential to become a leader in integrating crypto in financial system?
So many different questions altogether. Let me maybe start with the last one, because I think the last one is very interesting for Lithuania. Integrating traditional finance and the crypto sector, this is really where we see a lot of strength in Lithuania, where it comes together. You know, Lithuania has a lot of experience in managing fintechs, a lot of talent around, a lot of experience on the regulatory side, and I mean global giants here, right? The likes of Revolut, Robinhood coming, we are here too. So, you know, global giants being here, and this intersection of the fiat world with the crypto world, it's really one of the strengths here. And we see many other players in the association as well who are focused on this specific topic here. So it seems to me like this is turning out a little bit of a competitive advantage. Yeah?
Okay. A question for Mr. Majauskas. The crypto sector may still seem niche to some, but there is growing discussion that it could become a long-term value driver for Lithuania. What is your long-term vision for the development of crypto economy in Lithuania?
Well, it's not a part of something which is sitting aside from financial markets, financial services and financial industry. It is fully integrated already. It is part, because markets in crypto assets regulation has come into force late last year, making crypto asset service providers part of financial markets. The question is, when will most of the companies that are willing to continue their services will get licenses to do that. But they'll be regulated just as every other financial market participant, like a bank, electronic money institution, payment institution. Crypto companies are already part of that family, and they should adhere to the highest standards just as every other financial market participant. And I believe that Lithuania is on track to retain its at least European leadership in cryptocurrency asset service providers. Now, it's also important to realize that Lithuania has maybe 5 of the 10 largest global crypto companies here.
That's big.
And when we talk about the largest crypto companies, and Binance and Bifinity is one of them, their contribution is huge. And Jonas is quite modest, but the company, the last just 4.5 years, they paid more than 100 million in taxes to the state. So that's not revenues, not profit, but actual taxes paid. That is quite significant contribution, and they're not the only one. They're the largest ones, but they are not the only ones. And 5 of the 10 largest are actually in Lithuania and calling Lithuania their home. Of course, this is not the only jurisdiction that they have their operation and their staff, but this is one of the key places. I'm really looking forward to the whole licensing process, which has been extended till the end of the year, to have a number of those companies being licensed. Now, the reality is that the reason we have them here, and if you would like to become specialized, say, in cardiosurgery, so it's not enough for you to have a surgeon here in Lithuania, an expert, but you need hematologists, pathologists, cardio nurses, laboratory personnel, support staff, pharmacists who understand it. So a lot of ecosystem is needed actually to support the crypto system as well. And this is the reason we have all these crypto large companies here, like, cardiosurgeons, because of all the ecosystem that's in place to support that happening. And this is the beauty that Lithuania has and the potential for growth.
Do you believe Lithuania has strong potential to become a leader in integrating crypto in mainstream finance?
It is already happening, and not just in Lithuania, it's happening throughout Europe, and it's important to recognize that Lithuania is only important as it is part of the European Union, because being in Lithuania allows to serve the whole European market, and this is the huge advantage for Lithuania, being part of European Central Banking System, part of European Securities Market Authority system, part of European Banking Authority system. So it's a single market, single regulatory framework across Europe, and being in Lithuania allows you to serve entire Europe. And not just in what Bifinity provides, which is a very important opportunity to trade, but to custody crypto assets, to transfer crypto assets, use crypto assets for payments, for buying coffee, shoes, services, so daily expenses. All of that is already possible using companies that are based in Lithuania.
All right. Is that going mainstream, or how mainstream it is?
Well, crypto integration and adoption varies across different regions, and certain parts of, say, Africa, where a traditional banking system is still lagging behind. So crypto adoption is taking the first step, and some Asian companies and countries as well. Europe, I guess, would be in accordance with the global standards, but there's much more awaiting because of all the ecosystem that supports provision of those services. That we could go into further elements like tokenization or lending, further financial services that are now provided by traditional banks.
Mr. Junge, Lithuania is already seen as one of the key crypto hubs. Maybe not globally, but in Europe definitely. What does this mean for the country and the broader crypto world, in your opinion?
I think, and I actually wanted to pick up that topic that you raised, Mykolas, around the wider financial industry adopting this new asset class, right? We see a lot, what you would call traditional fintechs now adopting crypto and offering crypto asset and crypto services to their users, and traditional banks, even traditional banks going into the crypto sector. Some of the European MiCA licenses that are granted are actually granted to financial institutions, to banks. And I can tell you from a very personal experience, we've lost some very, very good people who have learned in Binance and Bifinity and are now going to other fintechs or to banks, and they're using their expertise and their knowledge in other parts of the sector. So this integration is becoming more and more and more. And just like so, we are lucky here in Lithuania that there is a lot of fantastic talent here, great people, great expertise, great skills. But we're also contributing to this, and it's not only we can benefit from it, but we also sometimes suffer that there are also very very attractive options here in this market. And I think this is the advantage for Lithuania, or this is the potential, the opportunity for Lithuania. Yeah, you have five of the top 10 houses here. This is how you can build the skills, how you can build the talent, which will attract more players in the broader financial industry, not only this niche industry.
Yes, the global Web3 space is growing fast also. How do you see Lithuania's place in this evolving market, and what makes it stand out?
To me, to be honest with you, Web3 is a global market. Web3 and crypto knows no borders. The next layer one, the next roll-up, the next blockchain, the next ecosystem is not going to be built in one particular country. Each country needs to build the brightest brains, like some great universities here, great skills, great talent, great people here, great companies here where people can learn. But the Web3 and the crypto markets, they don't know borders. They are 24/7. They are global, and this is where this is the trend, and where Lithuania has some great projects that you see some of the biggest players settling here, some of the biggest players being here in this market, and it's for very good reasons, because you find very good people here. You have a good regulatory framework, and so on and so forth. Many advantages. A great network. But yeah, what I want to say is that Lithuania needs to develop the brightest, but in a global market, not in a Lithuanian market.
Okay. Mr. Majauskas, Mr. Younger just said we have a great talent pool and many other good qualities. So what makes Lithuania such an attractive destination for companies in the financial sector, in your opinion?
Well, the elements that I mentioned a little bit earlier, so that there's an ecosystem of professional services that support crypto companies. So from lawyers, accountants, business advisors, technology people. So they're here to support the companies with what they do. The second element is not just the actual talent, but the services that are used directly by the crypto companies, like payment, custody, and other elements that are integrated within those crypto services that are being provided. So the whole the pyramid of people and services that sit together make this huge asset. And of course, if you were to hire a CEO of crypto company in Paris, perhaps you would pay a little bit more. The person would be maybe just as competent, but not perhaps as dedicated and hardworking as a Lithuanian. And in Lithuania, the salary wouldn't be significantly less, but maybe it would be slightly less. The person would be just as competent, but because of our national identity of eagerness and motivation to succeed, to lead in innovation, in new things, in new technologies, this attracts a particular talent who's hungry for success. And I believe that these opportunities create attractive platform for international companies to come here and invest. And we see companies from all around the world, from South Korea, from United States, from Ukraine, from Belgium, from France, from Spain. They come and build business here in Lithuania. So all that ecosystem plays to the opportunity of innovation and at the frontier of what is happening actually globally with financial markets. And if we look at 50 years ago when the traditional banking system was being set up, post World War II with IMF, World Bank, institutions and systems and central banks that are functioning now, we were just spectators looking at it from what's happening from afar. Right now benefiting to a certain extent. But currently we have an opportunity actually to shape these global markets by being part of them, part of the making, and including Bank of Lithuania, the government, private companies. They all work together in shaping the global financial system, and this is a huge opportunity for Lithuania.
How do you perceive Lithuania's growth as a crypto-friendly jurisdiction, and what influence does that for overall perception?
Well, to be honest, I don't particularly like the combination of crypto-friendly, which has some connotations of sort of flexed regulatory environment. I think the more strict but fair rules, which is what makes it attractive, to my understanding. And speaking with certain global companies, the reason they choose Lithuania is not because there are no rules or less rules here, by sometimes described as friendly, but by actually having clear rules, by being able to engage people who make the rules to understand what is actually required, and not by trial and error testing of what works, what doesn't work, what did the regulator had in mind with putting one or the other rule, but actually asking, so how would you like to see those certain rules being implemented, and then go get the best people to make it happen. So I believe that this robust framework of actually being able to engage, the transparent, the fair game, and the high standards is also important. So Bank of Lithuania has this international brand of quality. And if you would look at international community of regulators, so you would have like a German BaFin regulator who's very strong, and I'm sure Jonas as a German national knows it very well, a very tough regulator, but Lithuanian regulator is not falling far behind. He's actually also strict, but very clear rules too. You have jurisdictions like Malta or maybe even Latvia were a little bit more flexible. But Bank of Lithuania has never strived to be attractive by being flexible, has been looking to be attractive by being robust and having clear communication of what is required and having high standards.
What is the significance of having major players like Binance here in Lithuania? Does that help to shape the country's importance in crypto sector, and how does that influence political will?
I would actually twist it around and say that it's the responsibility and the burden is not on political will or the public institutions, but on the companies like Binance, who are seen as role models, and the way they behave. And many other market players
set an example.
Do the same and say, well, okay, Jonas is not wearing a suit, then nobody else is then wearing suits. Then they say, well, they're actually paying more for compliance people and getting better AML, anti-money laundering personnel. Well, that's actually the market standard. Then everybody else does the same. Then if they see that, for example, Bifinity as a company is trying to be an extra step compliant with what the Bank of Lithuania says, then the rest of the market says, well, actually we should follow that because this is the standard. And so those implementation of those high-level standards is very important, and therefore there's a huge responsibility of companies like Bifinity and Binance in setting the standard, because the way they set the standard is the way what the market most likely will shape like, and this is where the market that they will be participating in. So it's in their own interest to make it responsible.
All right. The next time we do this, we'll meet in t-shirts. Right?
This is what I'll do too. Yes.
Please do. I'd feel more at home now.
Mr. Juengeriu, how has the public and regulatory perception of the crypto sector evolved over the past, few years, let's say? Is it changing?
Yeah, it's still such a young market. And you can see that, with every bull cycle, so with every, new all-time high of the price, new narratives are sort of created in the market. What's happening right now? What are the trends? What is driving this current growth? The last one was called DeFi Summer, for example, if somebody remembers this. Now current trends are around tokenization, real-world assets, stablecoins, and how they are used. So they're all different, always different narratives. I think overall the industry is still young and still early. We're still early, but yeah, I mean, just look at what's currently happening in the US. ETFs first, they came about a year ago, huge market success, largest adoption, the largest investment volumes in the first 100 days of those ETFs, of any ETF ever, more than gold when they launched, and so on and so forth. So it's I think we're still early, but we are seeing signs that it's happening more and more and more.
Yeah, and I would add that that's an interesting and important element that the initial driver of the crypto industry has been retail. So simple people like yourself and myself, looking at this crypto industry as an opportunity, trying and testing, buying a Bitcoin and seeing what's happening, following, trying to understand how it works. So that has been the first flow of demand and drive that shaped the industry. Right now, we see an influx of institutional capital, institutional money, pension funds, government funds are coming into this sector. United States Securities and Treasury are actually also participating in this sector, saying that, well, if you issue a stable coin, which is stable against a particular currency, like US dollar, so if you issue that particular coin, you have to hold the US Treasuries against, which creates additional demands for US Treasury and reduces the cost of borrowing for the United States. So we see the governments participating, institutional players participating, pension funds investing, and that institutional money coming in creates a new standard, also new requirements for transparency, for fairness, for market integrity, for particular rules that they require for them to participate. So this is a new element of change and drive that is actually changing right now crypto market.
Yes, it is commonly believed that cryptocurrency is mainly or are mainly an investment tool. But that is not the full picture, is it?
It's what Mr. Jonas mentioned earlier. So what Bitcoin is going up or going down. Lithuania's participation in this industry is by creating an infrastructure to be able to participate in the market. And regardless whether the Bitcoin is going through the roof or going down, it's the opportunity to buy or sell, opportunity to custody, opportunity to transfer, opportunity to use cryptocurrencies for payment. So Lithuanian industry is not so much dependent on the price of Bitcoin, which is often reported and say, well, Bitcoin is going more than a kilo of gold. So Mykolu, what do you think? Is that good for your association? And I said, well, it's actually almost irrelevant. What is relevant is the competence of people that are working here to create the infrastructure for financial system that captures the services related to crypto assets.
Yes, Mr. Juengeriu, it seems that Bifinity has played a significant role in helping cryptocurrencies be seen as legitimate part of the traditional financial sector in Lithuania. Are you proud of that?
I think the whole team, everybody in Bifinity is very proud of what we've built over the last 4.5, 5 years here. We're doing a great service for our users. We are pushing crypto adoption in Europe. It's important worldwide. So we are proud and happy of what we've built here. But it's not only us. Look, it's a whole ecosystem. It's an whole industry that is playing. Yes, we're very lucky. We're very privileged. We have a great brand. We have a lot of users that we can work with, that we can build great services. We have great partners, many Lithuanian EMIs, payment institutions, and so on and so forth. We have a great network that we can build. So this is good. And for us, the North Star is always user adoption. So for us, the most important thing is always like, how many people are using it? How many, like if we start a new service, we offer a new product, how many people want it? How many people use it? And this is also, I think we were talking about, what's the purpose of crypto or what's it seen as? This is for us always the sort of North Star when we look at a crypto or a new protocol or a new development. It's about user adoption. It's about how many people are using it. And yeah, we are very happy that a lot of people are using our services and value our services.
How often do you need to explain for people here in Lithuania why cryptocurrency is good and why it is needed?
You know what? This is one of the great things in Lithuania. I get more high fives for doing a great job than questions about what's it good for. So I think actually, and the education and the organization has played a very important role in that. The education here, the level of what people know about crypto, the interest in crypto, we can see a lot. We have our own education platform. It's called Binance Academy. It's available in Lithuanian, so we can see how many people read it in Lithuanian, and we can see there is great interest, great demand. So this is really good to see. And also from a association side, we've done some initiatives to run education campaigns and then we can see that there is great demand. People want to know about this.
Yes. Same question for you, Mr. Majauskas. How often do you get to explain why cryptocurrency is good and why we need it here in Lithuania?
More often I get the question whether we should invest in Bitcoin and whether it's the good price, the right time. And I always say that first, whatever available money you have, you use for your kids' education. Then, if you've got some left, you buy flowers to your wife, and that's the best IRR I've had over the years of my investments.
Yeah,
and then, if you have left any money after, then you have an investment portfolio, and you can dedicate 3, not more than 5% to currencies like crypto as an asset class. And I think that we should be very careful about how we manage our finances and what priorities we set. And of course, cryptocurrencies are a legitimate asset class, but it should not be a majority of your investment portfolio.
Should I manage it by myself, or should I ask for someone to help me out in this?
Of course, financial advisors, they do an important job, and I believe that the education that companies like Binance and Bifinity do is also an important part of it. And actually, we're proud to say that together with Bifinity, we did the first educational campaign here in Lithuania, a public educational campaign, on not saying that you should buy a particular service, you should buy a particular currency, but before you make any decision, this is something that you should consider about. When you have actually made the decision, this is how you should securely keep whatever you have. And when you are about to make another decision, this is what you should go through. So educating is very, very important element, which develops trust, and I believe that trust is the most important foundation of financial system, well-functioning, sustainable financial system. And I believe that we, as market participants, as association, should do more in public education and take that responsibility as a private sector, because public sector has limited resources and they will always have limited resources, but that responsibility has to be shared.
Yes, talking about trust. I believe you earned the trust from Bank of Lithuania, which is known for its open approach to fintech and crypto. How does this collaboration helps companies like Bifinity, and what roles does the bank play in the local crypto ecosystem?
I wouldn't say that we earned the trust. It's more of respectful engagement of public and private sector, and the openness to discuss the needs of the ecosystem, the needs of the regulator, the plans of the regulatory framework that the Bank of Lithuania develops. And as I mentioned, that Bank of Lithuania is not known for someone who's very easy on financial technology companies, on commercial banks as well. But that ironically creates an attraction for companies that want fair play, fair game, and the Bank of Lithuania is known for providing that.
With markets in crypto assets, or MiCA, regulations on the way, what new opportunities could this create for Lithuania to take a leading role in Europe crypto market, in your opinion, Mr. Junger?
Yeah, MiCA markets in crypto assets regulation gives the opportunity for a crypto company to be based in one European country and from there serve the whole European market. It simplifies operation, it simplifies the business, but it also gives greater protection for users. There are new regulatory standards in this, which are great for investors, great for consumers. So actually, we are very eager to offer this to our users very, very quickly. For Lithuania, certainly a great opportunity because with the previous regime of independent AML laws across Europe, it was all very fragmented. It was not very harmonized. Now it's one rule for everybody in Europe, and it doesn't matter whether you are in country A, country B, country C. The rules are the same for everybody. Now the question is, how do the rules get applied, and how is the marketplace developing? And there, I want to echo what you said. You know, fair treatment from the regulator, everybody being treated equally. That's a key strength certainly that we see here, and that's definitely an opportunity for Lithuania.
And I would add that it's something that we spoke a little bit about earlier is Lithuania being part of the European Union as a platform where services get migrated. So you know, being here means you've got the entire Europe, and if you're serving entire Europe, you have to serve equally every single country with same standards, same principles, and regardless whether you're based in Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, or Sweden, the standard is the same. The requirement should be the same. It's just how you have that engagement with the regulator. But the principles should be the same, and therefore for the regulator, it's not an easy job to make sure that the players that you have here, that you license them here, they actually play by the rules. They adhere to the higher standards because they take responsibility. It's the reputation of the regulator. And therefore that element of trust is also important. And it's great that Lithuanian regulator and ecosystem has taken that decision to set up the hub here, to allow for these companies to operate in Lithuania, get a license in Lithuania, and provide services throughout Europe here in Lithuania. And what we'll see going forward, that companies that perhaps start their operations in the United States, get licensed there and provide services, the next natural step for them would be to move to Europe. And when they move to Europe, where do they start? Do they start where the largest companies are, where the regulator has clear standards and set of rules? Or do they go into uncharted territory and try to explore, is it easy, is it difficult, do you have the staff, do you have the ecosystem? So Lithuania is positioning itself for also the next level of, and the next stage of development, whereby Lithuania becomes the gateway for Europe. The opportunity for international global companies to set themselves here in Lithuania to serve the entire European market. So that's a huge opportunity that would never be possible should Lithuania be, I'm just thinking out loud that some other place, but European Union is a huge advantage and opportunity that they create for Lithuania.
How happy are you with regulation extension until January 1st, 2026? I'm talking about Mika, of course. Is that good? I believe it is good for you, right? You get more time to prepare yourselves for that regulation.
Normally, licensing period takes from 18 to 24 months. The bank license, the payment license, management license, like markets in financial assets. For crypto licensing, it's also very complex procedure, which is just as difficult as if you would like to set up a bank. And I would say to some extent, it may not be even responsible to start handing out these licenses in a month or two.
Yeah, because as I remember correctly, the first decision was to make the deadline June 1st.
June 1st, that is correct. So that's the shortest time frame in the entire European Union. So Lithuania had
It was
the largest amount.
optimistic.
I think it was ambitious. I think it's a good that Lithuania tries to be number one, and but it's also good that it also recognizes the reality and makes extra step to accommodate the needs of both the regulator and the market, because this grandfathering period is required for two elements to happen, two actions to take place. One is for the applicant to file an application. So to get all the documents, and it's quite a few documents too. And the second stage is for the regulator to review an application and to make the decision. So an applicant can file the documents in a month or two, but for the regulator it may take a little bit longer. And that extension is needed not only for the companies to file an application, but for the regulator to take a responsible approach in actually reviewing the applications and making an informed decision. So I believe that it is quite important for companies that are operating.
So ambitious start got us ahead of others, I think.
Well, Lithuania hasn't issued a single license yet. Some countries have already, but there aren't many. There are just a few handful, maybe 20 around licenses throughout Europe, maybe a little bit less. But this is the number that shows that it's actually significantly less than what everybody was thinking, that start of MiCA, start of this year, there'll be a few hundred licenses, but it's not happening because the reality is that to be regulated is very different to actually running a business, making a profit, serving clients, expanding business. Being regulated is a completely different ball game. And this is what many crypto companies are realizing by coming into this game. Say, well, why do we need all these compliance officers? Why do we need all that reporting, accounting, financial advisory, legal advisory? So many costs. And it's very important that in this process, and it's also it's great to hear from the regulator that they see this not as a cost but as an investment. So all these elements that require you to get regulated is an investment that allows you to serve better customers, to have more trust, to access more markets. So all this process is a valuable process both for the private sector and the public sector.
Who was the first? Was it crypto market players or, I don't know, Bank of Lithuania who came up with the idea, let's extend the implementation deadline?
We had a discussion at the Parliament, at the Budget and Finance Committee, where Mr. Juengeriu has also participated. And there was a parliamentary hearing, and members of parliament asked a number of questions, both the Bank of Lithuania and the industry, and both the regulator and the industry said that, well, an extension would benefit Lithuania, would benefit the ecosystem, would benefit the regulator and the private sector. And therefore, the members of parliament have registered the law, and it came into force just recently.
So it was a mutual agreement. What are the biggest challenges you are facing right now regarding MiCA implementation, Mr. Juengeriu?
Specifically for MiCA implementation?
Yes.
One of the key challenges I find with this is it's completely new regulation. It's new for everybody. It's new for the companies. It's new for the people, but also new for the regulators. And it's quite diligent regulation. It's quite complex. So it's completely new for everybody, and it's still changing. And that for me is currently one of the key aspects. Still on a European level, still some aspects are not quite decided yet. There are new technical standards still being discussed, still coming out. So the standards are not. It's a new regulation which is coming into force, and at the same time it's being adjusted to realities, right? Which makes sense, but that makes the whole process a little bit more complicated, because then if all of a sudden the goals change or some details change, all of a sudden you need to adjust to it. So You need to be very, very nimble for this, react quickly to these kind of changes, address them quickly. So I think for me it's major new regulation and it's still being adjusted. That I would say are the two main challenges.
But that's a good thing. And I'll explain. And I understand for the business it's difficult because you have to. You start driving without actually knowing what the rules will be on the road traffic, the speed limits, etc. But the reality is that this just shows that Lithuania is not being left alone. It's the European institutions are involved in amending the rules and listening to the industry, discussing of the needs and regulations, and seeing the global crypto markets changing and how they're impacting, and saying, well, maybe we should amend one or the other part. And Bank of Lithuania is in discussion with the European authorities, saying, well, perhaps there's some additional element that we should implement, and in discussion with the crypto industry and the players, they start adapting. Of course, any change is a bit of a burden, a bit of cost, a bit of sleepless nights. But in the end, this is how European Union functions. It's collective authorities and collective decision making, which makes it an attractive single market to operate.
All right. Last question. Let's pretend we have crystal ball and we can foresee the future. What do you see in that crystal ball, let's say, in 1 year?
Crystal ball is always, if I just had one, especially in crypto markets, very, very tough. But look, for what I wish, we'll see is in 1 year's time is a lot of the global giants in crypto finding a common ground in Europe and finding the right places in Europe, working together in Europe to build up a good ecosystem, a good place. In 1 year's time, I hope that finally my mother-in-law invests in crypto. So no, what I want to say is that I want the metric that I really want to see change fundamentally is crypto adoption. More people getting into crypto, more people adopting crypto, and maybe even using crypto without realizing it because it's behind some other service and it's an integral part of it. So doubling of our user number. That's what we want.
Mr. Majauskas, what do you see in your crystal ball?
Well, you don't need a crystal ball to acknowledge that there'll be less crypto companies in a year from now, because to provide crypto asset services, you would need a license, and not all the crypto companies will be licensed, because it's an important and difficult process to go through. It's expensive and very valuable. So we'll see a lot of consolidation. So the companies that will go through the licensing process
in all Europe,
in the whole Europe, they'll take the market of other crypto asset providers that they have right now. So I think that this is something that we're about to see. Second thing is that there'll be a lot more trust of the services that are being provided, because they'll be regulated, and the companies will showcase the fact that they're regulated because they've invested so much more money, because that creates a significant advantage against all other players in the market that are not licensed. So they'll say, like Bifinity or somebody else will say, look, we're regulated by the Bank of Lithuania. You should use our services because you can trust us. So I believe that there'll be much more consolidation, much more trust in the services that are being provided, and just as Mr. Jonas mentioned, much more adoption, because that trust would allow people to more accept crypto services and use them for daily benefit.
How advanced negotiations with your mother-in-law in convincing her to invest in crypto?
I'm trying my best.
How long it will take?
I'm sure a lot of people that are in crypto get the same thing when they talk to their family. It's about it's an exciting new thing, but also to some people a little bit foreign and many question marks around it. But what I always say is, just try it out. Just try it out a little bit. Like, never invest more than you can afford to lose, right? But try it out with a little bit of investment. You will see. You will gain some experience, and learning by doing. That's how I see it.
Learning by doing.
Yes.
Great insight. All right, thank you, gentlemen, for sharing your insights and pondering on question about crypto future here in Lithuania and Europe. To our viewers, thank you for watching and joining us today. I look forward to bringing you more insights in our next shows. I'm Gintaras Gimžauskas, and I say goodbye.